So right now, Misty is droning over this abandoned old log cabin right here. It's some nice ruins. We're on Highway 50.0, and Ludlow, I think, is that way. Not sure, I might have lost my bearings, but this is 50.0. Anyways, good a place as any to make a YouTube video, right? Nice setting, nice backdrop. So, recently, Thunderfoot made a video where he was debunking breatharians, people who, instead of eating, they consume energy from the universe, and they just breathe, and that's how they get their sustenance, right? And Thunderfoot was debunking a specific instance of it by showing how the rate that a lady was losing weight when she was being monitored by scientists was about what you would expect people to lose weight if they were losing weight by breathing, because carbon leaves your body by attaching to oxygen and becoming carbon dioxide. So that got flagged down. As of me filming this, it's still DMCA'd, but he'll probably win the appeal, so it'll go back up, right? And so I'll link it then. But just what I learned from his video about how he was losing like 100 grams a night by breathing of carbon, 100 grams of carbon, and the way that they were talking in metaphysical terms about how they were going to get their sustenance, the energy from the universe, and how you could just die of anorexia if you don't eat anything. All of this reminded me of a movie called 21 Grams. I saw it like a decade ago, right? And the movie really had not much to do with the title 21 Grams. That's just a saying that they were referring to, that the weight of the soul is 21 grams. And this was arrived at over 100 years ago by some guy who got published in what was then a reputable medical journal. And he was, he had a very small sample size, right? And he was weighing people at their moment of death. He was like, just sitting there at their deathbed, like, come on, come on, come on. Time's a wasting. I need you to die so I can get my data, right? So this guy noticed that on average people were losing about 21 grams at the moment of their death. And he was controlling for things like people losing control of their bowel movements and their urine and everything at the moment of death, because he was weighing the entire bed, and their fecal matter and their urine would still be on the bed, and he was controlling for factors like evaporation of moisture and stuff. And I thought, well, how scientific. He also did the same thing with dogs, and found that dogs apparently have no soul. And one possible solution for this was put forth that maybe it's because dogs don't sweat and humans do, and it's just perspiration loss, and that's why dogs didn't lose weight upon death, and humans did. But we're talking about small sample sizes anyway, and there's just a lot of possible explanations for the conclusions that he came to. But after watching Thunderfoot's video, I was wondering, could it possibly be that upon death, when nerve signals stop being transmitted to the rest of your body, and you're starting to lose oxygen everywhere because you stop breathing, does a chemical reaction happen in the body? Does it start happening by which you lose about 21 grams of carbon oxygen turning into carbon dioxide, either through the skin or exhaled. Maybe gas buildup inside your intestines. I've heard of people, farting and bloating after death, right? So maybe taking into account the scientific process that Thunderfoot was describing about how carbon leaves the body, maybe there's a different explanation. Maybe the chemical processes that eventually lead to rigor mortis setting in and then releasing begin at the moment of death, when you stop getting nerve impulses and you start turning blue because of lack of oxygen. Maybe there's this other chemical process that's happening, right? So, to test my theory, I'm going to need a whole bunch of you to die. You ready? You love science, right? So, we're going to have to watch you when you die and measure air quality around you, maybe keep you in a chamber. But don't worry, it's for science. It's for science. Laters.